World-renowned comedian Paula Poundstone, you've been summoned to jury duty.
She's not home right now, but I'll give her the message.
Attorney and best-selling author Rikki Klieman, you've been summoned to jury duty. Passion soap opera star Christopher Maleki, you've been summoned to jury duty. The only court show where celebrity jurors decide the outcome of your case. Jury duty. Don't even try getting out of it.
All rise. Ladies and gentlemen, the Honorable Judge Bruce Cutler presides.
Thank you, Sergeant.
You're welcome, sir.
Good day, jurors. Nice to see you as always, and welcome to jury duty. So please have a seat, and let's see what brings us together today. Carson Landers, that's you, sir?
Yes, sir.
You're suing an old friend of 20 years.
Yes, sir.
Larry Bourret, for $5,000, which is the balance owed to you for work that you performed on building a swimming pool on Mr. Bourret's property. That's, in a nutshell, what the suit
Well,
is.
for supervising it.
For supervising it.
Yes, sir.
You're a pool contractor?
Yes, sir.
And, defendant, you were building a new home?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. You fellas are friends of 20 years. So something went awry. So tell me what happened.
Okay, I'll tell you what happened. What went awry is that I told Larry he asked me what I was going to charge him to do the job, and I said I normally make $10,000, but being that we're friends, we'll do it on a verbal agreement, and I'll charge you $5,000 plus the costs. And the cost of the jobs are outlined in this cost breakdown right here.
Sergeant Dennehy can get that. We'll have
Yes,
that
sir.
for the jury.
I proceeded to design the pool and draw up a plan for him at his house, drove up there.
Yes.
And then I took the plan, the rough plan, went back home and drafted it up.
Yes.
And this is a copy of the vellum that I originally drew in the pool that we designed.
Yes.
So I had a numerous amount of hours involved in this.
Yes.
Which would be an extra charge because it's part of the cost breakdown.
Did you receive $2,000
Yes, sir, I did.
from Mr. Bourret?
Yes, I did.
What was that for, sir?
That was a down payment, more or less, on the job. I told him I needed some money up front, and that was after we started the excavation on the pool.
Okay.
It was long after the plans were drawn. This is evidence,
Sergeant
too,
Dennehy?
showing that I drew the plans and designed it.
Let me ask you this, Mr. Landers, and I have this for the jury. How much time did you spend on this
On the
this
whole
job?
project?
Yeah, on the project.
Approximately driving, working 65 hours.
65 hours. So let me move over to Mr. Bourret. Old friends all of a sudden have a falling out.
Well, this is, I
so
can't
what do
believe
you
we're
have to
even
say
here.
for yourself, sir?
First of all, I'd like to say that plans are not new to me. I used to draw all my own plans for my commercial building.
Then why didn't you draw your own plans?
I didn't interrupt you.
And also, Mr. Bourret, there's only a verbal
Now-
there's only a verbal contract here, isn't that true?
Well,
No, I just want to know, is that
you
true?
know, had I known,
Is that
you
true,
know, I
Mr.
talked
Landers?
to Carson about building this pool.
Carson, is it
helping
a
him.
verbal
Yes, sir.
contract? All right, Mr. Bourret, go ahead.
Okay, I talked to Carson. When we got to the pool part, you think, who do you know who's done pools? Right. Carson. I've known Carson for 20 years.
That's what I thought.
I called Carson. I said, can you help me with this here?
You want to build a
yeah.
house and then sell it? Is that the idea?
So he came up, yeah,
Sir,
the
is that
idea is
the
build
idea?
it and sell it.
Okay.
Carson came up, we sat down, and he did not design the pool. I designed the
All right.
pool.
No, he didn't.
He operated the pencil. Had I known he's charging me $100 or $200 an hour, my friend, I just, never mind. I used to draw all my own plans for commercial buildings that were submitted and approved to build two-story buildings. I don't need him to draw a hole in the ground.
Mr. Bourret,
You got a set of the plans there. We drew that in about an hour.
No, we
1 hour.
I thought there was a $5,000 price on this pool.
We had talked about $5,000, and I thought that'd be okay.
Plus expenses.
But as it worked out, I gave him $2,000 up front. There was
Yes, you
nothing
did.
about $7,000, and I thought $5,000 was high. We drew the plans. I took him out to dinner and cocktails.
Well, that's true. He's a
Twice
friend
I
of
took
yours.
him out to dinner and cocktails. Once for breakfast. One morning I cooked his breakfast.
Yeah, but how did it get to this point? Mr. Bourret, why did you use your friend? Why didn't you just get someone else?
Well,
You know, in the beginning, why didn't you do that?
at this point of this project, I had an ad in the paper for pool-related construction people.
As a general contractor, I thought you might know somebody in the business, you know. That's who you knew.
That's who I knew.
Okay. Mr. Landers, what are you suing for?
I'm suing for the $5,000 that he agreed to
What happened to
pay
the
me.
$2,000 I paid you?
That was for the expenses
I
of the pool.
see. This is why I got out of the deal.
How about the labor, my physical labor? I was supposed to supervise. I'm 69 years old. I'm down there with a pick and a shovel trimming the pool for him.
Sometimes money comes between friends.
Oh, it always
and
does.
I
It always
hate to
does.
see that, but we've heard enough now, so we'll be back in a moment.
Can I
Thank
say
you.
one more thing, Your Honor?
We've heard enough at
I
this
wanna
point.
say another
We'll be
thing.
back in a moment.
Coming up, the celebrities speak their minds.
You know, I'll tell you something. Nothing in my life, I think, has ever given me more joy than seeing two contractors upset about money.
Next on Jury Duty. Welcome back to Jury Duty, where celebrities and justice go hand in hand.
Just by way of a brief recap, a plaintiff, Carson Landers, claims the defendant, Larry Bourret, owes him $5,000 for a swimming pool he partially supervised on the defendant's property. Mr. Bourret claims that they never had an agreement and believes he does not owe Mr. Landers any money. And before I introduce these talented and wonderful jurors and insightful jurors, you both wanted to say something briefly. So I'm going to ask you, Mr. Bourret, what did you want to say before we broke, briefly?
Basically, there's about 12 or 13 stages of building a swimming pool. Mr. Landers was involved in 2 of them.
Good. Next, what do you want to say briefly?
I did all the hard work getting it established and everything. I was willing to come back up there. Mr. Bourret dismissed me
Okay.
and
now,
said he didn't need my services. He could hire the subs himself.
okay, the issue is crystallized. It's galvanized. So we're going to begin with some passionate questioning by Mr. Maleki.
Quite an intro.
Number 3.
How you guys doing?
Oh, I'm doing all right.
Now, honestly, you guys have been friends for 20 years, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. Little embarrassing that you guys are actually squabbling over a lousy $3,000 because you already paid $2,000.
Well, the $2,000 was for the plans I drew for him. That was an additional cost if you look at the cost breakdown.
Right, but according to Larry, he drew up the plans.
No, he didn't. I did. I brought the
Am I
copy
allowed
of
to
them.
talk?
I brought
Well,
the plans.
you have to ask the judge that.
I brought
Yes, you're allowed.
I own the vellum. He didn't draw them. He told me what he wanted. I drew it.
He said you
Carson brought the vellum. Carson operated the
No, you
pencil. I told him
speak
how
to the jury.
how to push it.
Okay.
I could
told
have
me
drawn
what he
these
wanted.
plans.
Right.
Here's
I
the plans.
created it.
I could have drawn this in an hour myself. I didn't need him.
Right, well-
I didn't know he's charging me
then
$100 an hour.
Why did you call me up there to do this, Larry?
I needed you to give me the format of building a swimming pool. That's all.
Oh,
That's all.
okay.
Of
You
the
expected me to
13
do this
stages
for
of
free?
building a swimming pool,
You expect
you're
me to
involved
work
in
for
one of
nothing?
them. You did the wood
the
frame. That's
the
all you
crazy
did.
thing, the crazy
That's all
thing,
you did.
Mr. Bourret,
And it took you
I
5
wanna
trips
know.
to do
for
that.
nothing, drive 130 miles to drive for nothing.
He didn't drive
You know,
130
the
miles.
best thing,
It's a
and Ricky
130
will tell
round
you,
trip.
the best
it
thing
isn't.
is just to say thank you, but no thank you. Let me
Well,
go
he
over
bugged
Rikki
me and bugged
Klieman.
me.
I just want to know, Mr. Bourret, what did you think the contract was?
There was no contract.
What did you think your verbal
We
agreement
talked about
was?
$5,000 that he would charge me, and it turned out his subs were all higher priced than mine. I started getting people out of my ad in the newspaper. I got one guy who knew all these subs. I talked to them. They were all lower priced than his people.
But
And
originally, you
I didn't
thought
need
that-
him. I don't need
originally
him
you
to tell
thought
them
the
how to
deal
do their
was
work.
$5,000. That's
I'm
what
sorry?
you thought the deal was originally.
It was $5,000. I don't know anything about this
And you
$7,000.
paid 2 of the 5.
I paid him 2 of the 5, yes.
Okay.
I figured I more than paid him for the equivalent of really a day's work.
No. Originally, we talked the day after we started the excavation, and I told Larry I generally make $10,000 on a pool, 20% of the cost of it. The cost to me would be $41,000 to do the pool without any masonry or decking.
You what, $40,000 for a pool?
No, yes, ma'am. That's
No,
what it
let me
cost
tell you, let me tell you, you
That's
know, he
what it
told
cost
me-
to build it.
That's
told
what
me
it costs
50
you to build it. There's no amount of
$55,000 to build this
swimming that
pool.
I would
I
pay
built it for
$40,000 for.
But I want Ms. Poundstone to feel comfortable,
I
and she
just
does.
built a jacuzzi for a guy in Costa de Casa. It cost him $48,000. I made $8,000.
Because he used Carson.
He he just built. I think you're bragging about the wrong thing here.
No.
He said, I just built a jacuzzi that cost the guy $48,000. You know, I'll tell you something. Nothing in my life, I think, has ever given me more joy than seeing two contractors upset about money. I think I speak for the common people when I say it's understood. When you hire a contractor, everyone knows from about, from your first adult contractor experience, everyone knows that you multiply by 3 anything that they said, which means you owe him $15,000.
It would have got to that, believe me.
Now, from earlier testimony,
That's why
I'd
I
like to draw the court's attention to, Mr. Landers said that originally he charges $10,000 and he offered it for $5,000, so he already slashed the price ridiculously low.
Because we were friends.
Because you were friends, you cut it in half. That, sir,
Do you think I would
is
drive?
a gift.
Would you think I would drive all the way up there and all the way back 4 or 5 times?
I like how you changed it to all the way up and all the way back, because that, sir, was one of my earlier points that I thought of. Did you not say it was 130 miles?
Round trip.
No, you did not. You said each way.
No,
well,
no.
and then it turned out it was
I said round trip.
129, and so you rounded up.
I give you, Your Honor.
We have it.
I took it off the odometer on my car when I came back up.
Can I say
I
something
think,
here?
gentlemen, that we must have a map somewhere that could...
It's 12 miles from the 15 freeway back to Larry's house.
No, wait a minute. We do
12
have
miles.
Lewis and Clark coming in, don't we?
Yes, we do, as expert witnesses.
No, we
yes.
don't.
As expert
No,
witnesses.
we
Yes.
don't.
But
I think that we
want
could get
the jury.
a measuring device from the
It took me
court.
2.5 hours each way.
I know, but you knew that before you took the job. It was going to take you a long
Yeah,
time
but
to
I
drive
never-
there and a long time to
I
go
never
back, and you
discussed
asked
the
him for
price with him.
$5,000.
But
I
he
never
never
discussed the price with him before I went up there.
Yeah.
He asked me after we started the excavation, and I drew the plans and got all the copies made and spent all the time chasing all that around.
Drew
We
the
went up
plans
to-
and made the copies and you chased something? Was that during the 130-mile drive that you did the chasing?
I like
If it
her.
was, you bet.
Didn't you ever try to just shake hands and get this out of the way?
All right, let's do that. Let's get out of here.
Sure, you owe me $5,000. That's
I
all
owe
want.
you
Yeah,
$5,000.
I don't think that's going to
$5,000.
work.
I worked 18 hours physically with a pick and a shovel. At my age,
No, he
You
did not.
chose
Did
to
not
do
know
that.
your age before you went into this agreement.
oh, I know my age. I'm still out there working.
I thank you, Ms. Poundstone. I want to thank you both. You're good sports. You're formerly good friends. Hopefully, this will be resolved. So, at this point, we're adjourned. Thank you.
Friends fight over the construction of a pool. Who did what and for how much? Our celebrities dive right into the case.
You know what? There's expenditure down here. Flippers and floaties. That seems like it might be padded.
Next on Jury Duty. Welcome back to Jury Duty, where Hollywood comes to celebrate justice.
So it seems to me this guy is hired, quote unquote, to supervise. I mean, so is the deal $5,000 or is it all this other stuff, which obviously he did a lot of work?
Yeah, money paid money. I mean, he's got
This is very small print. What work did he do?
Now, you're looking at a lot of materials.
That one guy said there were 13 steps involved in building a pool. He
Well,
said
then why?
13 steps.
So if there's 13 steps, why'd they have agreed for $5,000? Did they agree for $5,000?
Well, he didn't say what the steps were. He only said, "Oh, I see. Dig a hole, put cement in, fill it up." That's 3.
But look at these figures, though.
Oh, scoop for bugs. That's 4.
But what I don't understand is we've got estimated costs of things like tile, like beams, like all these kinds of
Who has
things.
beams
This
in a
stuff.
pool?
But this stuff. But did he really actually spend this stuff?
You know what? There's expenditure down here. Flippers and floaties. That
I would like someone to buy me flippers and floaties.
that seems like it might be padded.
What I'm thinking is,
Well, doesn't
what I'm thinking is that Larry, either financially speaking or found a better deal somewhere else. We should have asked him if he actually had been done. If
Oh, I think he said he had a better deal.
Right.
someplace
I
else.
mean,
His subs were all higher priced than mine. I started getting people out of my ad in the newspaper.
isn't then Larry Bourret using the plaintiff then really as it started out just for his contacts?
Yeah,
Isn't that what
I
happened?
think that Larry took advantage of Carson.
Except that, let's assume he did take advantage of Carson and getting him started and getting these plans done. Then the question is, if he took advantage of Carson, how much is it worth?
Right. Good. Well, he's $2,000 in.
Already.
Okay, so does that cover those costs right there for the mileage and so forth?
Are you kidding? I don't care about the mileage. Do you care about the mileage?
I think that mileage is a bit of a red herring after all.
Right. Well, but I honestly think that Larry took advantage of Carson. Larry's the one, actually, who he said he dug the ditch.
I'm 69 years old. I'm down there with a pick and a shovel trimming the pool for him.
But Carson is the one who had told him how deep to dig it, I guess.
So how much do we punish Larry for?
No, Larry said that Carson drew the plan, but that Larry had the plan, and that Carson just pushed the pencil.
Yeah.
Which I think is a beautiful relationship between two men.
Right.
You got to kind of wonder why Larry didn't just draw it himself.
Right.
Which he says he could have.
Yeah,
which he says he knows how to.
Yeah.
Plus the fact, we got to remember, this whole thing is a spec house. We've got...
Is it what?
Is a spec house. I mean, he's making... Larry hires, let's say Larry hires Carson, whether as a supervisor or as a contractor, because he's building a house with a pool to immediately turn it around, flip it, and sell it. He's not going up there to live up there.
Right.
So this is all business.
Right.
So then the question becomes, how much is the business worth? How much was hiring Carson worth to Larry? Now, Larry's saying basically now, nothing.
I have a feeling I'm not going to be good at this job, because I see how you boiled that down and how you think that's what the question is. Whereas I felt from my notes earlier that one of the most important questions was when they went to dinner that time.
What did they eat?
What kind of food they had?
Where
and
did
what
they
was the
go?
total of the cocktail bill?
It's contractor versus contractor. One says he did the work. The other says he didn't. Find out who the jury believes next on Jury Duty. Hollywood can't wait to hear your case. Call or log on to juryduty.tv and get celebrity justice on your side. You're watching Jury Duty. Don't even try getting out of it.
Has the jury reached a unanimous verdict in this case?
Yes, Your Honor.
And Ms. Klieman is the forelady. Would you hand the verdict sheet over to Sergeant Hugh? Thank you very much. Two old friends should find a way to make amends at some point. I'm not going to comment yet. I want to look at the jury's verdict and read it to you. The jury has found for the plaintiff, Mr. Landers, but they have found that $3,000 is due and owing to him by you, Mr. Bourret. What they're doing is they're enforcing the original oral agreement that you claim you had. They believe you, and they'd like you to get together and be friends again. But as far as business is concerned, you received $2,000. You have another $3,000 coming to you. This is jury duty. The jury has spoken. We are adjourned. Thank you, Your Honor.
Carson Landers, the plaintiff, has been awarded $3,000. He originally filed a $5,000 lawsuit.
The lesson I get from this is I have a really old pool. There is no way in Christendom that I'm hiring someone to get me a new one.
There was a $5,000 agreement made. $2,000 was paid, $3,000 was owed. Very simple. But friends, learn, do not do business with each other.
I think what I learned is you never exaggerate about travel time. You know, when there's maps, there's rulers, there's yardsticks, people can figure this out, ladies and gentlemen. When you say that you went 130 miles when you only went 129, that's dishonest, and that kind of thing comes back to bite you. And I always hate it when people measure distance by time as well. When someone says, well, it took me 2 hours to get there, well, that could mean that you pulled over and sat in the car for 45 minutes. Were you really driving the entire time? And if so, were you doing good driving? And that, to me, is really what this case is all about.
Today's show has been brought to you by award-winning Hatteras Hammock, Roman Arc Cypress Hammock Stand with large quilted hammock of weather-resistant Duracord in Willow Place pattern with deluxe neck roll pillow from Hatteras Hammocks.